Welcome to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter, the show that takes a look at the events and what's happening all around Putnam County, as well as interviews with local, community, and business leaders. And now, sharing his insights and experience, here's Today in Putnam County with County Mayor Randy Porter.
Hey, thanks for joining Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. Our show this week, it's about Cookeville. I don't know of anybody any better to talk about Cookeville than the mayor of Cookeville, who is my guest this week, Laurin Wheaton. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Hey, 3 years in as mayor?
I have a countdown. Yeah, I've got.
And you're still here.
I'm still here. No one, they haven't run me off yet. And to be honest, if I could run again, I probably would think about it, but I cannot. So
you've enjoyed it, right?
I have enjoyed it, yes, but I'm on the final countdown now.
So I've said, I do not know how you do it. Being a nurse practitioner,
yep.
Being a mom, 2 kids, husband, family thing, being the mayor, going to all these events and ribbon cuttings and everything.
You're there too, yep.
Yeah, but that's my full-time job.
That is your full-time
You're
job,
doing it.
yes.
I mean, you're doing it as a part-time thing. I mean, it's got to get stressful at some point, doesn't it?
It is you have to be very good at balancing your schedule out. I have pretty much every hour of the day planned out. And when that schedule goes awry, there is a little panic and everything. But yeah, I'm a type A person. You are too. We're the same person.
Absolutely.
And so it is very meticulous planning to get it all done. And knowing that sometimes I can't be at an event and I've just got to say no. And I hope people understand that my son's pitching. Even though he's 10, he thinks he's pitching in the World Series. He's not. But to him, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so I've got to be there for some of those things. So sometimes I have to say no, and normally you're there to fill in when I'm not. So thank you for that.
Well, that's a hard thing to do, to say no, isn't it?
It is, but I'm sure you've learned you
can't go to everything.
You just cannot be at everything, and it's okay if you say no. We're human. We can't be everywhere at once. And normally people understand.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a family, you've got other stuff, and you'll try to be at the next thing.
Yeah, what gets me is when we get scheduled 2 or 3 things at the same time. And it's impossible.
I mean, we were running the other day from one thing to the other, and I was late to it, but that's just
Just do the best you can.
Yes, we try.
So y'all just passed your budget.
We did, yes.
At City. Tell us about that and kind of some of the things that's happening with that. I know you gave your employees a good raise.
We did give our employees a raise I think we've done a raise every time I've been in now, which, again, when I came in with James Mills, that was one of the biggest priorities, is we, like y'all, realize we need to increase our employees' pay.
They're our greatest asset.
Asset, right? They're sometimes the only people that people interact with who have a link to the city. Yeah. And we realized to keep them, because I know we're losing them. I think y'all are losing them.
We were too, yeah.
You've got to be able to retain and recruit. And so, we have raised wages again. We do merit-based raises as well. So it has always been a huge priority for James, for us to do it, and we were able to do it again.
Has that slowed down your losing of employees?
It really has. I know there was time there. And finding new ones. We could not fill positions.
Couldn't attract them, could you?
No, couldn't even get them in the door for the interview. And so that was a huge problem that we saw. And we said, they're not going to come to us when our starting pay is this much less.
Right.
Fire, police, engineers, all those things. We could not get them in. And so we said, we've got to increase his pay if we're going to fill these positions.
Well, and I know with us, and a lot of times the young folks, though, don't look at the benefits.
Right.
TCRS retirement is a huge benefit. Mm-hmm. Health insurance. Longevity. I mean, you got all the things that vacation days, sick days, holidays, all those things that you offer. But a lot of the young people don't look at that anymore, do they?
And we always would say, there's another extra $15,000 in benefits if you take a look at it, but they don't see that. So that's hard to equate to actual dollars. But working for the city, county, you get great benefits as well. You get to work for the city. I think that's something I know. I'm very proud to represent the city. I'm proud to have our employees. But we've got to keep up with the times, and we weren't doing it. And so we're slowly getting there, but we still have some ways to go.
Same way with us. Mm-hmm. And we don't compete with y'all, but we
want to be the same. Yeah, we want to. Yeah, I think we both
you're
want
low
to.
And we're high, or if we're high and you're low, we're going to lose employees to you or you to us, and so I think we've really slowed that down a lot. So
I think we have. I think we
too.
both realize how important it is to pay our employees, and so we want to keep up doing that.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. What else in the budget that you can talk about this next year that y'all are looking at?
Well, so, we did do a tax increase. Yeah. We did do the 7 cents, but the majority of that is going for that increase in our employees' pay.
The employees' raises,
that's not a one-time cost, right? That's a recurring cost that's going to happen and continue to grow. And so we had to find some revenue for that. And most of the time, people, when I explain why we're doing a tax increase, that's going to your fire, to your police, your first responders,
emergency
your employees.
Services. Yeah.
They are okay with that. And so I hope people understand that's why we're doing it, is to keep those employees here. Other than that, we've got a ton of capital projects going on. I know.
Isn't it unbelievable?
It is. Yes. In fact, James and I both agree. Well, James has been here longer than I have, but for, my 7 years that I've been on now, we agree this is the most action that we've seen going on in the city in terms of capital projects, road improvements, sidewalks, combinations with TDOT, with tech, all the things. It is unbelievable, all the stuff we're doing.
Just in road projects, about to finish 10th Street.
Yep.
Maybe one of the best road projects that maybe I've seen the city do, other than Tennessee Avenue.
Okay. Oh.
Tennessee Avenue was good.
Tennessee Avenue was good, and it opened up the door for all that growth to happen out there. And I think 10th Street now you're going to see, that traffic flowing so much easier. And again, under budget, still.
Ahead of schedule.
And ahead of schedule. And people who live over in that area have actually complimented us and said, y'all have done a great job in keeping the traffic flow going while you're doing the construction. I at first I'll be honest, I was a little hesitant. I didn't know how much of an impact it would make.
Yeah.
But already seeing what's been done, it's going to be huge, which is why we're looking at that phase 3 now. Before phase 3 really wasn't even a discussion, because it was going to be so.
It's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Huge, astronomical. But we've seen what an improvement phase 1 and phase 2 have done, and with the way Cookeville's growing, it is. It's something we're looking at, and we've budgeted dollars to look at that this next fiscal year.
That would make a big difference in traffic flow if you could widen it all the way then from Fisk all the way to Washington. That would be big. But you got a lot of those homes and business. Of course, most of them are businesses.
Most of them are businesses, but it's a lot of businesses. And, we obviously want to have the least amount of impact on businesses, on homeowners, on property owners. And so, you've got to be really strategic about how can we make this the least impactful, but also impactful for the citizens. So that's why we've budgeted some money just to start taking a look at engineering, planning to see, is it even feasibly possible?
Right.
And then if it is, we'll start talking about it. It'll be after my term, though. I think I'll be out. I'll be out by then, but I'd be happy to see it happen.
Talking to Laurin Wheaton, she's the mayor of Cookeville. We're talking about some of the great things that are going on in Cookeville and currently road projects. So not only 10th Street, South Jefferson, of course, it's a TDOT street.
It is, yeah.
Finally seeing it widen from the interstate all the way out to 111. I mean, I drive that now some, and that is going to be unbelievably good once that's finished.
It is, and that was another little area that there was a hiccup that you couldn't predict because it was supposed to be done this summer. We're still hopeful it'll be done in the next year, but there did come to an area that they had to work on, so hopefully they can get it done all the way down to that area, which is right there by the intersection of 111.
Yeah.
But now that I drive to Prescott over there,
see it every day.
I got a front row seat to the traffic over there, and I understood, and I had the moms calling and asking me what could I do, and I quickly said, not much, because this is TDOT. But TDOT has been gracious to meet with us, to talk with us, to keep us updated with what's going on. So that's going to be, a huge improvement. And then, we had the meeting with TDOT, and now they've come back and said we see a need to improve the intersection right there coming off I-40 at Jefferson. And then to, talk about doing that turn lane on Willow onto Interstate Drive, especially with the new development that's happening right there off of Willow.
Do we have a new development on Willow?
I think there was a rumor about something coming, but I'm not sure.
Bullseye or something?
There's going to be some red and orange over there. My favorite color, red. Your favorite color, orange. Coming together. It's going to be great.
Target and Home Depot is what we're talking about, folks. You probably already guessed that. 2 stores that were probably the most wanted.
I'm sure since ever since I've been
in office,
here, and since you've been in office.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, those are the 2, and some people want one more than the other, but if you put them both together, huge for our community.
Huge. I mean, but you look between Nashville and Knoxville, and for us to have that, I mean, we're that next stop. I mean, that's really, other than Lebanon, we're it. And I'm still shocked that it happened. I won't believe it till I walk through those doors, just because and they're moving dirt over there so fast. It's
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, but I'm still a little in shock that happened. But I think they saw that Cookeville is a growing community. We would be able to support it. We wanted them here. cannot talk about the amount of teamwork that went on with city, county, TDOT.
Unbelievable, yeah.
I mean, they just complimented us and said, we saw what y'all could do, and they're coming now.
Took a lot of years. Most people don't know what went on behind the scenes all those years getting them
here. It was a long-term relationship, wasn't it?
And it goes back to that teamwork of all of us working together, which is something we got in our community that a lot of other places doesn't have.
I actually had another city reach out and ask me how we did it. They said, how did y'all get them? And I said, I'll tell you, but you're going to have to get everyone at the table to make it happen. It is not one person.
And that is tougher than it seems.
It is, yes. Not for us, though.
No. And we got to take a break. You're listening to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Mayor Randy Porter. This week's show's about Cookeville City, and my guest is Cookeville Mayor Laurin Wheaton. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. Our show this week, it's about Cookeville City, and my guest is the mayor of Cookeville, Laurin Wheaton. Laurin, we've been talking about a lot of the projects that Cookeville has going on. We're talking about roads, but you got a lot of other capital projects that y'all are going to be doing this upcoming year with your budgets that you just passed, right?
We do, yep. We've got the 2 new fire stations that we're building, which anyone who's driven by Washington, Gould, those are coming up, and they are really happening. Those are stations that were like 50, 60 years old, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just repairing them wasn't an option. We needed to build new ones, and they needed it too. And so we're doing those right now. Those are coming along great. We've got the Cane Creek expansion that we're doing with more walking trails, a disc golf that's going to be happening out there. We got that interesting grant for the tree forest or the food forest or something that we can put trees out there that can grow some fruit and stuff like that. People can come pick it.
That's amazing.
Yep. And then we're doing Dogwood Park. Obviously, revamping the entrance where it's going to come off of Walnut there, which ties into the whole CPAC. Have you been to the CPAC yet?
Well, I haven't been inside yet.
The new bathrooms are, they're still redoing the front.
I mean, it's amazing.
Are done.
Yeah.
Our food truck / toilet trailer that was out there. Everyone thought that was a food truck, and it was not. It was the portable potties.
Portable bathrooms, yeah.
Yep, it's gone, and the new bathrooms are there. Unbelievable. I mean, they are state-of-the-art. Like, we're talking airport bathrooms.
Wow.
I mean, fancy, yeah. And then they're still renovating their front there, but we're doing that with the Dogwood Park entrance and revamping that. And then, the big one down there, that Depot Street property, we have.
That has got to be in the top 2 or 3 things that I think the city's done in the last several years was to purchase that property. I mean, all of a sudden you get HCA comes in and buys that property where we thought there was going to be a convention center and a hotel. Mm-hmm. And then that falls through.
Yep.
They buy the property, and then all of a sudden one day there's a fence up.
There's a fence around, yeah.
And all that parking is gone for the local West Side folks.
And we didn't realize how important. We knew how important parking was.
Yeah.
We didn't realize how important it was until you took it away. And we all kind of went, oh, no, this is an issue, but could this be an opportunity?
Yeah.
And so I got in touch with the real estate director for HCA, and we started having a discussion, and we said, is there something we can do? We actually, we know it's your property, but is there something? He said, well, we're actually looking to sell it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I said, we might be interested. And so we started the conversation right there, talking about, they wanted to be good partners in Cookeville. They bought the land. It just didn't match their plan for right now. They were willing to part with it for, a decent price. Right. We also knew the land wasn't the best piece of land. The Wilson property had been on there, which the history with that is so
unbelievable.
Yes.
Wilson Sporting Goods, the Shanks Hotel. Mm-hmm. That was a major part of Cookeville back in the day.
And so I kind of want to make sure that when everything that we do with it, we kind of honor some of that history.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some of that tied in because essentially we were able to purchase it I'm happy with the price we were able to purchase it for, and we're going to have parking. It's going to be free parking. I know people started asking about a parking garage, and that's just not, maybe.
Those things are expensive.
Gosh, what was it like? It's $20,000 a parking spot is the estimate, I think, now.
Per parking
spot. Yeah, so every parking space is going to cost you about $20,000 in building costs.
Yeah.
So it's going to be parking right now. It's going to be free. And then we're going to do a green space. I'd love to see just a little area that, you could have little events, someone playing some music, surrounded by some retail, some local stuff like that. So it's going to be, I think, like you said, one of those things we're going to look back on and I'm going to say, man, I'm glad we did that because look at what we did for the West Side.
Oh, and the West Side, there was a day back when Wilson Sporting Goods and all that was there, the West Side was booming.
Really?
And then you get into the 80s and 90s, and it starts going downhill, and you have some of the buildings, there's fires over there, and different things happening, and it just kind of goes down, and it looks like it's not going to survive.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
I mean, I feel like even since I've been here, you've seen the revitalization of that area. Yeah, you've got Cityscape.
Cityscape started it.
Did they really? Yeah.
Yeah, when they did everything downtown and over on the west side.
Partner.
Oh, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go back to Melinda Kiefer, first director of that, and the job they did. And then all of a sudden, it starts building back, and now it is booming.
It is. This is so funny. I was at a baseball tournament, surprise, and this mom asked where I was from and from the other team. And I said Cookeville. She said, that's so weird. We're coming to Cookeville for a girls' trip. They're from Indiana.
And they're coming to Cookeville.
Coming to Cookeville for a girls' trip. And she asked, she's like, where are some places we should go? And I mean, I just started naming off stuff on the square, stuff on the west side. And I thought, how funny is that? Here I am at a baseball tournament in Nashville, meeting a woman from Indiana who's coming to a girls' trip.
Cookeville.
To Cookeville. And I could list off a ton of places that she could come and go eat, shop, hang out, because we have all of that right here.
We've got it all.
And then we'll have the parking to go with it now.
You know, the old sign, I don't know if it's still there or not, was down South Jefferson, just right up from what used to be the Holiday Inn, and there was a big sign there. It was an old metal iron sign. It said, Hub of the Upper Cumberland.
Oh, I think I remember seeing that before, yeah.
And you thought about that, and you think, yeah, but now?
Oh, my goodness.
We are the hub of the Upper Cumberland.
I think probably more so than ever, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, how much? Because what is the studies have shown? We have like an influx of 100,000 people
every day
coming in to to eat here, shop here, work, hang out, take part in our parks and things like that. So I feel like even more, we are really the hub city. I mean, everyone's coming in here, which we're good with because we appreciate those tax dollars.
Absolutely, we love our neighbors that come in.
We do, and go home.
We're talking with Cookeville Mayor Laurin Wheaton today. We're talking about Cookeville and all the great things that's going on. I know I had folks ask me, what's happening out in front of Avery Trace School where they're doing all the digging? Sidewalk project,
and that's obviously something with TDOT as well. That one has been a little bit more interesting with funding. We've had to break it up in phases just because what's happened is that time's gone on, the costs have increased, and that grant money wasn't really covering it. And so we had to have some serious discussions and say, okay, we've got so much in right now. Do we want to pull out and lose our money, or do we want to keep going? And ultimately, we decided to keep going, and they let us break it up into phases. But I'm sure you've heard sidewalks is something that the city is really lacking.
Oh, yeah.
We're lacking pedestrian-friendly connection, and so that has been a huge priority of ours is to do sidewalks. We're going to be doing them on Interstate Drive, which is kind of crazy to think. Interstate Drive, they've got them on one side a little bit, but they do not have one connecting sidewalk. And
there's a lot of people walks on Interstate Drive.
I saw just the other day a bus parked at the gas station, and it must have been a team of soccer players or something. They were all walking down to Starbucks and Seven Brew, and I thought, oh gosh, they have nowhere to walk.
Oh, yeah, it's dangerous without the sidewalks.
So we're putting sidewalks in there. Over by Tech, we're talking about, doing some more sidewalks, things like that. So that was another big priority. The amount of infrastructure work that we're doing, and I always say infrastructure is really not a sexy term.
No.
But
it's needed.
It's needed. Yeah. And when you start doing infrastructure projects and doing it right, you really see the progress happening. And so I actually love talking about sewer and water and sidewalks now because it's what makes the city grow.
Well, and I think the city is doing more street, water, sewer projects right now than I ever know of. Mm-hmm. But it's trying to keep up with the growth.
Keep up with the growth and make sure that, when they do come pave Jefferson, when they do come pave Willow, we've already got those water mains taken care of. Some of them we're actually moving out from under the road because that way, you
don't have to dig the road up.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know why we're just now thinking of that. But yeah, they said, let's move them out of the road, move them over here. So if we need to dig them up, we can. So doing huge things like that. So when they do come down and pave Jefferson, which they're supposed to do all the way to the courthouse eventually, which I know it's kind of a mess right now, but we'll be ready for it.
Once it gets finished, it'll be nice. The one thing on everybody's mind is when are the pickleball courts going to be
ready? You are right about that. And interesting fact, this winter, or they said from like January to May, was the wettest 5 months they've ever seen in Tennessee.
Since 1950 or something, I saw it.
Right. Well, guess what that does to an outdoor project?
Yeah.
It delays it. And so we poured the concrete, had it ready, it rained forever, and now there's some issues with is it still good to put the asphalt? Because you got to put, the certain
We had the same issue.
Finishing on it, yeah. And so we've had to go back and because we want to do it right the first time, right? You don't want to go in and then have to be fixing it. And so we're having to go back and have it, make sure it's structurally sound and make sure it's the right way so we can put this stuff on it. But yeah, that rain, it did hurt us, but they're happening. Don't worry, we're still working on it. We got the splash pad coming in over there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. New splash pad.
New splash pad. I'm excited about that, obviously, because I have kids and I love it. I think this will be a great water feature for Cane Creek. A lot of people utilize Cane Creek right by the gym. It's going to have, a slide. It's going to have some climbing features. It's going to have hopefully a little bucket that fills up and pours over. And I know it's not a water park. And I think this is going to be a great addition. But when you look at how much these things cost, I mean, that alone already is a little bit over budget. And I think that's going to be over $2 million that we're doing for that and a playground area over there. That's what fit our budget is doing something like that, which is a really great feature, something that's going to improve the quality of life. And the water park thing, that's just not something that's in our budget right now.
It came back being hugely expensive.
$30 million was what it was going to cost 4 years ago almost. Yeah. So I can only imagine what that price is, gone to now. And, with things that we're doing with infrastructure, with the things that we're doing to improve the city, this is, I think, a really good little quality of life project that we're going to do and have that splash pad out there. It's going to be really nice.
It's going to be nice. Hey, we're going to take a break. You're listening to Today in Putnam County. Our show this week is about Cookeville City, and my guest is Cookeville Mayor Laurin Wheaton. Stick around. We'll be right back.
And now back to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. Our show this week, it's about Cookeville City. My guest this week is the mayor of Cookeville, and that's Laurin Wheaton. We're talking about all the great things that are happening in Cookeville, a lot of projects they're doing. Laurin, merging some utilities together, right?
Yeah, and this is actually going to be really good for efficiency, financially. So we're bringing electric and gas together to create the energy department, which kind of, makes sense once you take a look at it. Yeah. So we're going to be building a new campus over there where the electric department is off of Davis, West Davis, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Building a new campus there to merge the two. And what that does is it allows us to use each other's equipment. You don't have the redundancy that you might have, and it's going to be a cost sharing thing once it happens. And so we're going to be building a new campus over there, merging those two together. Another idea of James Mills. I always give him credit when I can because he comes up with a lot of this. And so that's something that we're going to be doing with our utilities is merging those two together.
That'll be a good deal. I mean, you had the gas department over on Broad Street.
Right, and that's kind of an area we'd like to see.
There needs to be some retail,
right?
doesn't it?
I personally don't think the gas department building needs to be right there. And so that's something I hopefully would like to see is us sell that and, do some commercial, have someone take it and develop it because it's a great location.
They can make a great event space out of that.
They really could. Take the gas trucks down to the energy department.
Out of the middle of town. Uh-huh. You're losing one of your longtime employees, your finance director, Brenda M. Well, that's got to be tough.
It is tough. She's been there for 21 years, so longer than I've even been in Cookeville. And I will tell you, the first time I went to a budget meeting, I was terrified, to be honest. I mean, to be looking at a $30-something million budget, and for someone who's not a finance person, I might have taken accounting in high school, but I probably didn't pay attention enough. It was daunting to be able to take that on.
Especially governmental accounting.
Oh, exactly. And she breaks it down for you so simplistic and so efficiently that you can read it and it makes sense. And she takes such good care of this city with all department heads. I have to give them, credit as well. But she's always being super fiscally responsible and, under budgeting for this to make sure that we're not going to be lacking over here. And, we've had a balanced budget for as long as I've been on there. Her wealth of knowledge, I can't tell you the number of times someone would reach out to me and I'd just say, Brenda, can you call them? I have no idea what to say to them or what to do. And she would go in and take care of that stuff. So the city, one of the reasons the city is so successful is 100% because of her. And we've got Jenny coming in after her.
You got a new one, but
she's going to.
Brenda kind of trained her for a while, though,
Brenda
right?
did. And I think that's something our utilities, our directors do a real good job of is finding finding that replacement, finding that next person to step into the role, because that's a role. You can't just walk in and day one be ready to go. You've really got to learn the mechanics and the systems of it. And so Jenny's going to be coming in. She's going to do a great job. But we're going to miss Brenda. Yeah. I don't think she'll miss us as much, probably with all the budget meetings that we had to do. But we are going to miss her and are just grateful for her service.
Absolutely, Brenda. We wish you the best in the future.
She earned that retirement for sure.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, served 4 years on the council, been mayor for 3 years. Got basically 1 year left in your term. Is there one thing that sticks out that you've got on your agenda for your last year that you'd like to see happen that's not on the books already?
I've been proud of what we've been able to do for our employees by increasing their pay all the time. I'd still like to see some of these projects come to fruition, like Jefferson, like, the interchange at I-40, the turn lane onto Willow. I know that's still going to happen whether I'm there or not. But seeing some of those projects through, I think the Home Depot Target, I'm so excited about that. I can't wait to see that completed.
Maybe they'll get that completed early and you be the ribbon cutting.
I'll be there no matter what. I'll be a customer walking in. I'll be there no matter what for that. But I really feel like a lot of the stuff that I've wanted to accomplish, we've done. The biggest goal that I had when I came in was to make sure that Cookeville remained the family-friendly, small town atmosphere with the big town opportunities. And I feel like and I completely include you in this, we've done a good job of that.
Right.
And I've said this before, when we're sitting here, doing all the stuff for Home Depot and Target, we're right back looking at the west side and the square and saying, what can we do for our local economy? So that is something that I want to make sure that continues on, because I think that's what makes Cookeville so unique, is that we are over here with our west side in this wonderful little area, but then we got this over here at Interstate Drive and Restaurant Row and all that. We just have so many opportunities here.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So in your 4 years, 3 years, your total 7 years, is there something that just sticks out at you that you're the most proud of that you've seen the city do?
I think, like I said, that increasing the employees' pay, that is something that I am proud of, because I think that right there changes lives, leaves a lasting legacy. We're increasing people's pay so that they can buy a home here, they can stay here, maybe open up a small business, something like that. We're making sure to keep those people here. The commitment we made to tech to help with the new stadium, that's something that I'm really proud of, because I think that shows obviously the partnership between us and tech, y'all as well, and what that can do for our community. I will say, that HCA property, I'm really proud of that. I think that is something that if we had not done it, we would have been kicking ourselves.
You'll go down in history for that one, I think.
Well, as long as I can have a parking spot, that's all I want, is a parking spot in there somewhere so I can go park and eat and walk around. But, I've been really proud of this council that I've had. We've worked wonderful together. We may not agree on everything, which is fine. And you shouldn't, right?
Yeah, you can agree to disagree.
How boring would it be if we all agreed on the same thing?
Well, you wouldn't need but one of you if you all agreed on it.
Exactly. No, and I need everyone. And so this council has been wonderful to work with. At the end of the day, we've all had the same goal, which is to make Cookeville a better place. And I feel like we've done that. So I feel like when I walk out those doors next year for the last time for a city council meeting, I'm gonna be okay, because I feel like I've done a good job.
Well, I think you have too. You've been a great mayor, and you had, I think, some folks come in as mayor as their first term and the first term on the council. You had 4 years on the council where you already had a good idea of what was going on and what needed to be done, and then you stepped into the mayor's role then for 4 years. I think that makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. Just, the learning curve, coming into government when you're not a politician.
Drinking from a fire hose, is that what they say?
Exactly, baptism by fire.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to learn all that when you're not a lifetime politician. Yeah. So coming in, so I'm very grateful for those first 4 years. Started with Mike Davidson and then had James come in, and I threatened James. I said, I don't care what you do when I'm done, but you got to stay at your desk August of 26. You can't go anywhere until then. And he has graciously stayed, but not because of me. It's just because he loves his job and does a great job. But
he does.
Seeing the teamwork, seeing everyone work together, I could not be where I am doing the things I've done without that.
Without all those folks. Mm-hmm. We got about a minute and a half left. So look into your crystal ball.
Yep.
Where do you see Cookeville going in the next 5 or 10 years?
I love the trajectory we're on now. Like I said, we are selective about who comes in now. We're making sure that anyone who comes in, they're investing in Cookeville. I think we're taking care of, the housing situation. We're trying to build more homes. We're trying to make them where, a different range where people can come in. We're investing in our community with tech, with local retail, with education, with the schools that we're building. I love what we're doing, and I hope that we continue on that trajectory of having the big city opportunities, but still being the small family-friendly atmosphere that we have.
I got to ask you, and I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this.
Oh, no. Great. Uh-oh.
Any aspects of another office somewhere down the line?
I will say I did not realize how much I would love. I've always had a servant's heart,
right.
You as well.
Right.
I did not realize how much I would love public service and doing this. So I would love to find another avenue, whether that be PTO mom, whether that be, serving on some boards. I'm definitely going to continue to be involved. Don't know what it is yet, but I learned when I decided to run for city council almost 8 years ago. I thought I was crazy then, so I'm never going to say never.
We just got to convince Wade of
that. There you go. It's not me. Yes, go convince my husband. He's the one that's going to take the convincing. But I'll still be around helping out because I love this community.
Well, I think you've got. I just see something in your future down the line. I think I don't know what that's going to be, but I see something.
You're not getting rid of me yet. Sorry.
Public service side. I think you get into. Laurin, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks for being a great ally, friend, team member. I mean, we just have something special here in Putnam County and Cookeville, and
it's because It's because we've got people like us, I'll brag on both of us, working together.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. And setting an example for everybody else.
Yeah, I'm grateful for you. Like I said, I couldn't do everything I've done without you. So
Same here. Well, thank you. That's our show. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and may God continue to bless Putnam County.
You've been listening to Today in Putnam County, hosted by Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter.